Chapter and Puntland on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipe Man here on the Adventures Pipe Man W4CY Radio, and I'm excited about our next guest. Boy, what a day. I got 10 million interviews because I was out on the Pipe Man radio tour and doing festivals, and now everybody had to do interviews today, and I got more approvals added, and now I have this band who's the highlight of it all. Forget Wacken, forget Bloodstock, forget Warped Tour, forget all that. I have ourselves among others with us, and that's the highlight of the day.
What's up, brother? Nice to meet you, man. Can't wait to be here. Super excited to be here. Thank you so much. And better than Warped Tour, man. That's a compliment. I don't know if I believe you, but I'll take it.
Well, like I mentioned Wacken too. You know about Wacken, right?
I haven't heard about that one. What's that one?
Oh, it's called the Holy Ground. It's the biggest metal festival in the world. It's in Germany.
Man. That makes sense.
I was just there. And then I was at Bloodstock. Do you know that festival?
Yeah, I know Bloodstock, yes.
Yeah. So I went from Wacken to Bloodstock to you guys.
Dude, it's an honor to be in the same list, man.
Yeah. There you go. And then I'm going Warped Tour Montreal on the 20th.
Oh, that's a great time.
And then I just got approval for Mexico City. So
there you go, brother. Hey, wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Warped Tour's where it's at.
No doubt. I can't believe it's back. And I can't believe they're bringing MySpace back too. Like, what the fuck?
I just heard about that, man. We're gonna have to get on there and see if we could re-unlock our coding skills, because hey,
those are the days when you could actually like promote your band the right way.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
The band came to you back then. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you didn't have to search the band out. The band tracked you down and said, you're gonna like this music. So
I'm in your area. Come to our show tonight at this random coffee shop.
Yeah,
I know, right? It was the modern day version of the tape trading days that I grew up in.
Yeah, you know? And it's cool because all that vintage and retro stuff now, like vinyls, cassettes. I've even seen I believe it was the Browning. They made 8-tracks.
Really? I've been talking about that with all the bands making cassettes and albums. I'm like, they need to make 8 tracks, man.
Yeah.
I had Blizzard of Oz on 8-track.
True.
It's insane.
Browning has, I think, everything that you can sell, they have at their merch table. So
that's so killer. I had Blizzard of Oz on 8-track. And I had my matchbook handy so that it could prop it up and be at the right speed. Otherwise, Ozzy sounded more like maybe, I don't know, Hellhammer or something like that. And then,
and then we used to do to listen to music, man, crazy.
No doubt. And then Mr. Crowley would split between tracks. So it would fade out of track 2. And then fade back in for track 3. You'd hear the click to the next track, and it would be right in the middle of Mr. Crowley, man.
I'll tell you what, living in California, man, I developed my biggest fear probably about 10 years ago. I ordered a special edition Scary Kids Scaring Kids vinyl record. They only made a certain amount of prints. I was so stoked to get it. Middle of summer. It came in probably prime July California heat, and it sat in my mailbox for no longer than 2 hours. Got it inside, cut the package open, put it on my vinyl or my player, and that record was sitting like,
oh yeah. I remember those days. I remember those days too much. And like, I lived in LA during the 80s Sunset Strip days.
Yeah.
So you know, I don't know that I remember most of it, you know, because if
you're supposed to.
No, if you remember it, you weren't really there. And thank God we didn't have social media or any of that shit, because there's no proof of all the shit that I'd be in big trouble for right now.
Oh, man, you search hard enough, you can find what I ate for breakfast today.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. I don't like that shit. I don't want everybody to know. I was just taking a family member to the airport, and they were losing their shit at the airport. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to be on social media for this shit.
Hey, yeah, it's a crazy world with everybody watching, but I mean, that's the nice part about doing music now is like you see those true interactions. You see the people who are living in the moment at the live shows, man, and it's like meeting the fans again. Like we're in our 30s doing it now, and you still have the phones and everything like that, which is cool because after the show's over, everybody's tagging you and posting you and doing all this stuff, posting the memories, which is beautiful. But like you still get those great interactions at live shows. And no, I still don't think there's nothing to this day that'll beat a live show. Like
No.
I feel like when we're listening to music on the radio, you're either in preparation to go to a live show or you're recapping leaving a live show and you're kind of just reliving that memory these days.
Yeah, and for me back in the 80s, if it was on the radio, I'm not fucking listening to it anymore. Because like back then, metal didn't get played on the radio. So once it did, that means they shifted to like hair metal or some shit like that. Like, nope,
Yep.
you're a poser sellout. I'm not listening anymore. You're on the radio.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting that there's pros and cons to both times. Like you as a band, it's much easier for you to get exposure due to socials and things like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the work sometimes that those 80s bands did, but in the same token, you got to do a lot more fucking work on social media. So.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to it for sure.
Nothing like
Right?
being 30 years old and dancing for TikTok, right?
I know, right? And it's like, fuck, man, I can't even keep up with it anymore. Like now they're bringing MySpace back. I'm like, fuck, another one I gotta do now.
Yeah,
and it's like a full-time. I feel bad for musicians. This is a full-time job to just do the social media. I don't even know when you have time to write music.
You know what, our band as a whole, we kind of broke everything down to where everybody has a job. There's 5 of us. So Drew, which is our screamer in the band, he's our tech guy, man. He's savvy. He knows the ups and downs, left and rights of the algorithm. And man, if you go on our TikTok, I think he posts like 3 times a day. There's posts that we don't even know about.
I actually was on it before this interview, and I saw a couple posts. I'm like, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
I don't even have enough time in the day to do 3 TikToks, man.
Dude, we got lucky with the 5 people we have. Me and Matt do a lot of the creative. He does a lot of the bookkeeping and stuff like that. I do more of the ideas for the art and stuff like on that side of it. And then Richard focuses mostly on his guitar. He does a lot of the emailing back and forth there. And then, we just signed with CB Entertainment, and, he's doing the heavy lifting for us in the background, a beautiful manager to have. And so blessed that he reached out to us.
He is incredible. You're absolutely lucky because, there's a lot of people in this business I wouldn't say you're lucky about, and he's definitely one of them. You are.
Dude, 100%. I mean, yeah, for the day that we got that email, and we try to do our due diligence, and we have friends in the scene, and bands that have been around, and you talk to people, ask them, and we've gotten mixed reviews on other ventures we've taken, and oh, that's good, or no, that might not be the best path for you guys, and sometimes you got to make your own mistakes. And then when Chris reached out to us, we did our due diligence again and started asking around, and we couldn't even, we were trying, man. We were trying to find somebody, like we were going to give him $100, say something bad about this guy. But like we couldn't find anybody to say anything bad about him, man.
Anything from like lower, just like local to like buddies and bigger bands are like, no, I know who that is. He's a great guy. Like, yeah, send it.
Yeah.
So he's doing excellent in his career, and we're stoked to have him part of the family, and see where this journey takes us. Like, we're blessed to even be in this position, man. We started off back in 2023 of just getting this back together, of possibly doing a tour of just the songs that we did in high school. Just get back together and let's do some of the old songs. See if anybody shows up. We'll run around California and see if anybody likes it, and then we'll continue living on our lives. And then we wrote 2 new songs, which were Death Race and Stay Another Day. And the feedback they got, and the fandom that kind of pulled in from it, which was the old nostalgia guys from the MySpace, or the newer fans, which is the younger generation, the kids, or some of the metalheads that never even got a chance to hear us. It was beautiful. So then we just never stopped writing. We just kept going with it, and
Nice.
the family kept growing, and the songs keep rolling in. We try to get a new song every other month, and we just keep rolling, man. Good things keep happening.
Nice. I love that, because it is hard when you have the nostalgia people. Like you look at Bring Me and how many of their core fans were like, and I know I was like that with Metallica when the Black album came out. Like I was at their first show ever in Black. I'm like, you fucking poser sellouts, but like now you hear like the new Bring Me they just released, it's like they went back to their roots, and I think that's smart. But I always said it best, like why do I want to write the same song over and over again? So when you go away from it a little bit, I think it kind of puts that juice back into you to do it again, because you took a little break from what the nostalgia was,
Exactly. I mean, and we were 16, 17 years old back then, just youngsters doing it. So not only do sounds change and voices change and bands change, because it's not the same members or anything anymore, but like
just a couple.
Yeah, just a couple original guys, but like everything changes over time, and the voices change, and your feelings change, your outlook on life changes.
What really changes is the maturity with it, like understanding instead of disagreeing, we can find a middle ground going, oh, you know what? Let's try this route.
Yeah.
Not
exactly.
Screw you, bro. I'm going to go play Xbox or something. I don't know right now,
Yeah, exactly. And you actually are better at playing. Like when you're 16, usually you're not really that good yet because you're just starting, and some people maybe, but you the more you play, the more you get better at your craft. So of course you don't want to sound like you're a beginner anymore, which is where you got to do that, like walk that fine line between the new and the nostalgia, because the nostalgia people want you to still suck. And you don't as an artist,
Thank you. Yeah,
so
we appreciate that.
So I think it's cool that you realize that too. And all I kept thinking about when you were talking about that too is when I've interviewed Joe from the Vandals several times, and like he knows there's certain questions I won't ask. So one time he brought one up that everybody asked that I wouldn't. And he's like, and don't ask me, Pipe Man, when the Vandals are coming out with new music, because nobody wants to hear a 50-something-year-old writing punk rock songs.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of true, because like Blink-182 as an example, they were playing Aftershock one year and everybody was leaving because they were all, well, this was cool when I was 15, but it doesn't really apply to me anymore. And it's true. Like, even you take somebody who's a friend of mine who actually is a metalhead, you would never believe, Vanilla Ice. Okay. He lives near me. He's a cool ass dude. I never thought he was cool till I met him. Like, other than that, like, I was like, somebody came up to me and they're like, hey man, you should interview Vanilla Ice. And I rolled my eyes. I'm like, why? And so it's funny. I was doing one of his events and he was helping me unload my car, all the radio equipment, and I had Slipknot blasting. And he was banging his head, and I looked at him and rolled my eyes at him. I'm like, really? He goes, no, man, this is my jam, dude. Like, I fucking wrote Ice Ice Baby when I was 16. I'm so sick of singing that song, but I have to, and that's what you get. Or like I Prevail.
Cover.
Yep.
You can hear Eric all the time. He's like, I want to play this song.
Devil Wears Prada will not play their cover anymore. They don't want to do it. Still Fly. They had huge popularity. They love doing it, but man, they do not want to do it anymore. I don't blame them. It's not their jam anymore. You know what I mean? They did it for an experience, and they want to show you what they still have, and they're still killing it.
Yeah, and who the hell wants to play like a cover as the one that everybody's listening to and waiting for, that you're sick of playing as it is? It was probably just a joke to begin with, type of thing. And it's true. Eric he's on stage. He's like, all right, I guess we're going to sing the song that we have to sing that I don't want to fucking sing.
Yeah.
And it is a good version, don't get me wrong, but you know, I get his point of view. Like even with your old songs, your own old songs, sometimes you feel that way.
As new as we kind of are, we've already kind of had that happen with a couple songs. We got a couple fans that are like every show, and they're constantly, why aren't you playing this song tonight? Or why aren't you playing this song? Like, because we can't.
Yeah, we do have that. You know, we took a different approach when we decided to start playing shows. You know, we took the entirety of 2023, which is the year that we, you know, got together as our band, and decided to sit down and write the entire album.
And
We sat down, we started, I wrote out a kind of a game plan there, and shot for I believe it's 7 full songs, interlude, intro, and outro, and we were just nostalgia to ourselves kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
albums used to have intros, albums used to have interludes, albums used to have outros, and we were like, let's make a gift for ourselves. We're here, we have the opportunity, let's write a story. And that's kind of what we did with Infinite. In that aspect, we wrote a story of how we were feeling at that time. And when you start playing shows and you have that many songs, your time slots don't fit that many songs.
Right.
So we're lucky to get 5, and you know, our songs, we're not rushing out 2-minute bangers. We were writing 3 to 4 minute songs. So yeah, we were probably pushing about 5 songs, and every show, wow, oh, when am I going to hear this song? When are we going to hear that song?
it doesn't help that we're also immediately after the album,
We start writing album
the next
number 2.
one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So we already have, if we go back next month, we'll have 5 new songs just this year that aren't on that album.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it also goes off the vibe of the show. If we're playing a festival, we don't want to play you a sad song. We want to keep you moving, or you know?
Right.
So it's like we can't play every one at all times. So it's kind of
You
cool
have to
have
go
that feeling
all
already,
out at
but-
you have to go all out at a festival. You have such a short time slot, man.
Oh,
you
yeah.
you can't, there's no time for a lull. And
Yeah.
I love what you said about the intros and stuff like that, because some of my favorite songs ever, kids today would not listen to because they wouldn't wait the 10 seconds for the brutality to start.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's weird to me because music is an experience, like an immersive experience, a song is. And I don't get the whole concept of I've listened to 10 seconds of this song and I've heard the whole song already because I listened to 10 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. And it's just like, I think music is more of you, like we were talking about how people change and age and things like that. The music that you're listening to at that time, at that part of your life, whether you've been listening to that band for 1 year compared to you've been listening to that band for 20 years, it's kind of a stamp on how you were and who you were at that time.
Yeah.
I'll listen to A Day to Remember, Devil Wears Prada, Blink 182, you know, Story So Far, Metallica,
Kansas
Slipknot,
Drums.
you know, I could name the world, but every one of those bands that I listen to, I think when I press that play button, that stamp comes back in my head of the first time you listen to them, what it relates to, those memories that come back. You know what I mean? The first time I seen, I lived in Reno for a little bit after I graduated high school, and first time I seen Devil Wears Prada was in a venue called the Aquarium. I'm not even sure it existed anymore.
It doesn't.
Their 808s were so loud, dust was coming off the ceiling. And
Nice.
I seen other bands there. I seen Parkway Drive, A Day to Remember, Motionless in White, back when they were not who they were. And Devil Wears Prada is the only band that I seen the building roof tiles shaking with dust coming off because their music was so loud. And that's what I'm saying. You press play on a song, even if it's, you know, something like Sacrifice or something new, that's where that memory goes. That's where it goes back to, where your punch stamp was.
And it's funny you should say that, because that's why so many people are the way they are. Like, when I was talking about Bring Me recently, there's some people that are just in that deathcore era that was nostalgia for them. Metallica, as an example, my favorite album's Kill 'Em All.
Mhm.
Now, would that be most people's favorite album? No, only the people that were there in the beginning because of nostalgia. Same with Slayer.
Yeah.
Show No Mercy is my favorite album. Everybody wants to say Rain and Blood. I say Show No Mercy. Maiden, Killers, for sure, my favorite Maiden album. You know, AC/DC, Bon Scott years. Now that doesn't
Yeah.
mean I don't like the stuff after. It just means that Devs, like you said, it holds a special place in time, timestamps in your brain that brings back these feelings and brings you back to that time. And it's hard to let go of that, you know?
100%, man. I mean, we're all just excuse me, humans at the end of the day, and whether we fight it or not, our brains, I think, run on that nostalgia button, and music is built on that factor of it gets you that itch. And whether you know, let's use Sleep Theory as an example. Brand new band blowing up out of nowhere. You know, their vocals are awesome, instruments are awesome. I've only been listening to them for about a year. I have a stamp from the first time I've seen them live. No clue who they were. They were opening up for Plotting You and Beartooth, and I was like, I heard good things about this guy's voice. I'm a huge fan now. You know, I already have a stamp from them. It only took a year, you know, and it's awesome. I hope that one day that, you know, we develop fans, or we get to be that stamp for people, to where, hey, we saw those guys at a venue that was less than 300 people. We saw those guys at, I mean, our first show that we played in Santa Cruz was a bar, and I would think that was about
first show, but
our first show in Santa Cruz was a bar.
I would say 20, 30 people, but
20,
that
30
freaking
people.
bar turned upside down.
Yeah, we had, you know, age ranges from 65-year-old guys moshing down to the 21-year-olds who could just barely get into the bar. You know, losing their mind. Bartender, bar stools were moving around, and, you know, so that might be a stamp for somebody. Like, hey, I caught them in Santa Cruz and in the jury room with 30 other people. Like, you know,
Right.
Barely fit 15 people.
Yeah,
Exactly. Well, that's like for me, I was at the first crossover show ever. It was at the Sun Valley Sportsman's Lodge, which was like an elk lodge in the San Fernando Valley. And there was no security. Before that, long hairs couldn't go to punk shows. Punks couldn't go to metal shows. It was stupid as shit. But then we had 3 punk bands, 3 metal bands, you know, and a couple of those bands, you know, crossed over after that. But there was no security. It was fucking mayhem. So now one of the punk bands was COC when they were hardcore punk in the beginning before Pepper. And I've interviewed 2 of their band members from then, you know, that on 2 separate occasions. And I said, you probably don't remember this show. And the minute I mentioned the Sun Valley Sportsman's Lodge, both of them on separate occasions. Oh, that was like an Elks Lodge, right? That was the most epic show ever. So even for the band, that happens. They have this timestamp of something.
You know, yeah. Like, actually, that I kind of do that too. Like, you know, I never realized it, you know, now that we're doing music, is a huge part of it is networking. So you go to these shows and you want to meet, you know, you have the fans meeting the bands, but then, you know, as a band meeting a band, you're kind of like feeling the vibe, feeling the human, you know, you already know you like their music, and you're kind of just seeing if you can make that connection a little stronger. But from guys that we used to open up for back in high school, you know, from all of our different projects back then, we Attack came back around, you know, and Andrew's still drumming for them. So we met him after the show, and I was like, dude, you know, it's crazy. We opened for you way back then, and it took like pause, thinking, and then the light bulb went off, and he's like, oh my God, bro, that was, you know, almost 20 years ago. Like, that's insane.
Right? It is wild, and that's what's cool about metal.
Yeah.
Because we're just one big community, one big family with a lot of nostalgia.
Oh,
I don't
100%.
think there's any other genre besides metal or punk that could say that. Because, like, do you remember who even the biggest pop artists are? There are some of the biggest pop artists. If you had to ask a kid today, they wouldn't know who they are. But you mentioned the Misfits, they know who the Misfits are. You know, perfect example. And I love this song, War Inside, too. That
the new one we just came out with. Yeah.
That
was an
is
emotional one.
killer. That is killer.
I appreciate
and I just, you know, people view things different ways, but immediately, without even listening to a song, I was like, oh yeah, all of us on Earth right now are having a war inside our head.
Yeah.
You know?
We definitely, you know, I think pretty much everybody's age, you have a touch of trauma, or if you don't, you're beautifully lucky. But we kind of, we know what the other members of the band have gone through, and we take a lot of our songs and we write them together. We send drafts to each other and see if anything needs to change. And that was one that, when I was coming up with it, that song just came out. What did we drop that? About a month and a half ago?
A month and a half.
A month and a half ago. And those lyrics started forming back in 2022 before we even got this going. That was something that was in the notes of my phone, and thought process, and you working with the other guys and having them clean it up for me, add lines here or there, and do stuff like that. That's been in the process for about 4 years. So that was probably one of my favorite songs to come to fruition. And then I don't know if you were able to catch the music video, but we went entirely DIY with that entire song. That music video shot in Santa Cruz,
Nice.
off the cliffs out there, and just the runs. I had a vision of that song of I wanted that beautiful run, the every step I take, but Devil Wears Prada sitting in the back of my head. I wanted Mike's vocals is what I was hearing in the back of my head when I was singing it. So I was like, Drew, I want you to match exactly what I sing and do a run of screams and just blend them to this beautiful harmony. And that's probably one of my favorite things that we've written so far, man. That came out so good.
It's fun
That's
as hell to play.
Yeah, that's killer. And see, I like hearing that too. That's fun as hell to play. I think that's another thing too that people don't realize is like there's some songs more fun to play to others for an artist.
Yeah.
And so some of those songs that maybe they want you to play aren't fun anymore.
Very
when you
true.
played it like 1,000 times, how fun is it still?
One of our most popular songs that I love to sing. He hates it because it's one of our more difficult songs to play.
It's not that it's difficult. At the time, I wasn't in the band when they started recording that, and I kind of did some re-records, but I didn't want to change up too much of the bass on it as was because it was already out. It's just things. I guess you could change it more live, but I learned it the way it was and recorded it the way. It's just I don't know.
I wrote the bass on that when we first formed back together. I was the bassist.
Thankfully, I made it more technical on myself, and now I don't like.
So and when I was doing bass and vocals, I simplified everything because I had a mic in front of me, so I wasn't always able to look down and see what I'm doing. And then as we progressed, I was like, I should either get one of these out of the way. I'm either gonna move on from the vocal side of things and make bass more technical, or I should move on from bass and make my vocals more technical. And then that's when we were talking as a band, and one of our band members told us that he was available. He plays bass. He was an organ at the time when we did that, and so we brought him in, and I handed him my bass guitar, and I said, "This is your job now."
Nice.
Give me mine back then. No, just kidding.
I have that thing. I have Ernie Ball. You can keep your Schecter.
And then you guys are going to be at Titan Fest on the 5th. That's pretty cool. And then iconic Ace of Spades on the 21st of November. That's pretty badass.
Bro, we cannot wait for both of those shows. Actually, Titan Fest being the first festival we have, the best way to describe that is, the minor leagues for metal, because we're right there next to Aftershock, and it's right near Aftershock weekend. So these are the bands that are trying to, the locals, all up and down the California scene, trying to break in, or if we have arsonists get all the girls who've been massive back in the past, just California metal scene. And
they're headlining their day.
Yeah, and all the guys that are working their way towards Aftershock, towards Warped Tour, towards all this, and it still has that vibe, that Aftershock or Warped Tour vibe, that it's not just metalcore, it's not just death metal, it's a mix of everything. It's all these different musicians coming together for Titan Fest. And then Ace of Spades, man, I mean, what could I say other than a dream come true?
Right.
Even to be with the heavy hitters of Mice and Men. I have videos being a kid, at Warped Tour. I ditched, whatever I had to do that weekend at home, found somebody else who's going there, threw them, 10, $15 for a ride to San Francisco, and seeing of Mice and Men playing on my probably, I don't know, what were those called? The Samsung chocolate back then, the little sliding phones. I have a video of,
Rich?
Motorola Razr videos of your band, So
Oh yeah, you were one of the rich people with Razor.
See, I was like, I had a flip phone.
But you know what I mean? Like just being a kid and seeing the guys in a Mice and Men, and then now being in communication with them, and Aaron Pauley's, producing mixing and mastering our music now.
Nice.
Dude, beautiful souls in that band, and for them to give us this opportunity, we are putting our whole heart and our whole foot, arm, leg, head, voice, finger, everything into that show. If you want to see the best version of us, come to that show. If you can't make it to that show, tell somebody to record it, because we're giving that show everything we got, man. 30 minutes.
They are killer dudes. They are killer dudes too. Like as human beings.
I
mean,
never
of course they're
realized
great.
Only like to give us the opportunity of being on the show with them and open at Ace of Spades. I never thought I'd get to play there. It's one of those places I've always wanted to play, but also being as open as they are to be able to reach out and ask questions, communicate. Just like, hey, like our drummer, he talks to their drummer, like, hey, I got a question, and he's so quick and honest. They're just great people.
That's cool to hear. And I wouldn't doubt if Wimmer would be at Titan Fest looking for some new bands to bring to the Wimmer festivals, because he does that shit.
we are. If we know who you are, Danny. No. So I mean, all we got to do is get that twisted the other way around and let him know who we are. And the only way you could do that is by putting on a good show.
And we got some plans for that show.
Yeah.
Even if people have seen us live, they're not going to be ready for a couple things that day.
Oh yeah, I mean,
love it.
We had to scratch the plans for the T-shirt cannon because we didn't know how expensive they were. But we pivoted. So.
Oh man, that's the only reason I was going, the T-shirt cannon.
Hey,
I got an arm. I'll throw it.
I was gonna say I'll get one of my friends who used to play football or something to just come and start throwing.
Right.
I just play bass. I can just stop and start throwing shirts.
Right. I want to see you throw guitar picks, as far as the T-shirt cannon can.
I usually flick it.
Yeah,
I think I can flick it further than I can throw it.
Depends on if you maybe
then again,
playing card throw.
Gambit card throw.
I do, yeah. You're gonna get me going on stories with guitar pick throws, man.
Okay, so I'll give you a trivia question. Okay, speaking of guitar picks, why is Hetfield the greatest down picker ever? What's the strategy?
Can I phone a friend?
It's
Call my dad.
Yeah, go ahead.
it's got to be something about the strings, right?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I was gonna say the.
I feel like I actually have heard this before, and that's what's killing me right now.
Because he can't read music.
Think about what we were just talking about.
Flicking. Oh, because he played a lot of poker?
No, he holds the guitar pick with 3 fingers instead of 2. So and I'm thinking about when I heard that, and I'm like, yeah, that would fucking do it, because you're doing it with 2, and sometimes it flies out of your hand, but with 3, you have such a strong hold on that pick.
Well, being a bassist, we use 3 fingers too. So.
Yeah,
because he uses guitar picks when he plays bass.
No, I use bass.
Oh, you use bass pick?
I just do more like a guitar pick, but I use the Ernie Ball version of it.
Yeah, I used when I did it, I used the bigger bass picks, the Ernie Ball ones.
Well, I also use the thinner ones because occasionally I don't use the pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to fingers sometime on like a softer part or something, so I can easily not catch the pick when I'm playing.
I keep telling him to slap the bass, man. He's just like, oh, slap the bass. No.
Okay, there's another trivia question for you. Who's the most famous bassist in history that started off as a guitarist and basically drew the short straw to be the bassist of the band?
Not Geddy Lee, is it?
Nope.
Shit.
He had one guess.
It was a good guess. Geddy's a freaking god. It's not the dude from Tool, is it?
Nope.
Isn't it?
You
Is
got to
that
go
guy-
further back.
Rush.
I said like Sketty, dude.
Oh no, my
Well,
bad.
Getty is Rush. Just hate to tell
No, my
you.
bad.
You know, I know there's good shit there in Santa
Hold on.
Cruz, but
I'm trying to think.
Further back. Fleet? No.
No.
nope, got to go further back.
Further back.
See, that the problem I'm having in my head is the timelines of
Yeah,
where
see?
everybody lays out. Because
Let's
like
put
now
it
my
this
head's
way.
going like Van
All right, I'll give
Halen.
you a hint. This artist still is around, still plays live,
It's not.
but he was a guitarist in the early 60s before
Queens of the
he
Stone
had to
Age.
play bass. Did you just say Queens of the Stone Age?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're not from the 60s.
You got to hang up on the.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't. That's the thing is like I hold weird knowledge, but like years I don't hold. That is the one thing that's gonna escape me. I would tell you Rush is from the 80s if I had to get, you know what I mean, and I know it's not. Rush is way older, but like, you know what I mean. I can't relate a band to a year.
All right.
Guy from Queen.
It's Paul McCartney.
Oh damn!
My
Beatles.
Beatles thought Beatles, but didn't go Beatles.
I
Now-
wouldn't even have thought Beatles.
Now, if you go listen to Beatles now and just listen to hear him play bass, he's playing it like a guitar.
Dang, I would have never even went that far.
That's like Lee from Versus Me.
Yeah.
He plays bass, but he's originally a guitarist.
Yeah.
If you watch him, it's kind of the same thing. He does play a lot like a guitar.
Yeah, because that's a habit already, you know? So
Yeah.
I think if you start at bass, it's different. But if you go from guitar to bass, it's like you can't help but bring the guitar element into it.
Yeah, and that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I've only been a bassist when my music journey started by becoming friends with musicians, and they liked me as a person, and they were like, "You want to be in the band?" And I was like, "I would, man, but I don't know how to play an instrument." And they're like, "You sound like a bassist. All right, get a bass."
Kind of the same thing. I was a singer, and then I joined that
Yeah.
band with Jordan, and I'm not gonna ever sing over Jordan Blake at the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Grab a bass."
Yeah.
All right. I was doing keys for a second.
So
Ooh.
that's where the music journey started for me, man. So that's what I've stuck with.
Well, there you go. Well, you guys kill it. Tell everybody how they can reach out to you, buy your merch. They can't listen to my show unless they buy your merch. And, you know, anything else we haven't covered that you want them to know.
I mean, thank you everybody who's listening. We are Ourselves Among Others. You can find us at Ourselves Among Others on everything. TikTok, Facebook, Apple Music, Spotify, Instagram.
Soon to be MySpace.
Soon to be MySpace coming soon, you know.
I hope my profile's still there.
I would say, I
want
wonder
to
if the
start
whole
over.
profile is still there.
How
crazy.
wild would that be? Like they turn,
To unlock
flip it
that?
back on, and it's like your same profile. I'd be really curious to see what's on my fucking profile. That's
You know what?
cringe.
Oh my God, right?
when I think Justin Timberlake bought MySpace for a minute, and so everybody was going on and reactivating their profiles. But the one thing I hurt everybody's feelings, they didn't back up your pictures, so all your pictures were gone.
Well, then,
Yeah, so but
no cringiness then, maybe.
I wouldn't even know the email. I'm sure it had something to
I
do
know
with
mine.
South Park back in 2006. So
I know mine. It's my high school motto.
yeah, I don't remember my email, but
I just thought of something too, real quick, before we end here. Like you mentioned the band. I'm thinking, what a cool tour name that would be. Ourselves Among Us, Among Others versus Me. That would be such a killer tour name.
Yeah,
I
mean,
want to tour those guys hell that.
Versus
Big
me.
brothers to me, so I'd love that.
Yep.
That'd be sick.
those guys are definitely the boys. So,
But it just goes together, you know?
Ourselves
Like,
Among Others versus Me.
I'm texting Lee after this. Dude.
you could
we
tell him I
fucking
came
I
up.
had a
You
great
could,
idea.
you could tell him I came up with it too.
I
'cause
will.
We definitely will.
How about
I
you?
interviewed them recently, but I've been at so many festivals, I don't even remember which one it was at this point. It was probably Incarceration, but I can't
They
remember.
just played Incarnation, and what other one did they play? This Welcome to Rockville? Did they play that one? Or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
did
mean-
both. I think I talked to him at Ink. I've talked to him a few times, but yeah, I did
No, yeah,
both.
they're awesome.
But
yeah,
yeah,
those guys from top to bottom are just great people to talk to.
So there
we
you
will
go.
pass that message on. We trust me. That tour will happen before we hang up any sort of
And
microphone.
that's just how you name it, just like that. You know,
Ourselves
that
Among
would
Others
be,
versus Me.
it just goes together. Like,
Hell
and
yeah.
people, I'll bet you there's people that won't even figure out that it's the two band names. Are like, oh, I wonder what that means.
They're like, look,
looking at the torsion, like, wait a minute.
But yeah, if you're looking for merch, you can find it on the Linktree at our Instagram bio. If you're looking for limited edition merch, you got to catch us live. We try to do limited edition stuff just for the live guys. So
Nice.
yeah, 2 different experiences. We appreciate anybody who listens to a song. We respond to DMs if you want to talk to us, if you want to hang out. Come to a show. We
got Titan Fest. If you're local to the Central Valley, we play Modesto. What's the date for that one?
Right after Titan
Right
Fest.
after Titan Fest. Like a week after Titan Fest. We suck right now.
Yeah.
You guys should play at.
Mice of Men in November.
You guys should play at. I don't even know if it exists anymore, and it's not a venue. But I used to live in Brookdale, and you guys should play at the Brookdale Lodge. Brookdale?
It sounds oddly familiar.
It's in the Santa Cruz Mountains, but it's like it's that town where the Brookdale Lodge, the dude that works there, like you see in the movies, changing the hat, he runs the lodge, he runs the restaurant, he's the police department, he's the postmaster, he's the fire person, he's everybody. Like, that's all there is in that town. Or then, I don't know about now, but all I know is then, all my friends living there all had sawed-off shotguns at their house because you didn't walk on their property for the obvious reasons back then.
Right.
Yeah. Especially during harvest season, you didn't walk on property there, except me. I'd go up there during harvest and my friends would have like hefty garbage bags full. And they're like, hand me a baggie. Go ahead, fill it up. Take your pick. the good old days before the government got involved.
Right. Hey. Yeah, you're trying to get us to go on another rant again, aren't you? No.
I know, right? Well, you guys do rock, though, and you have enough of a rant in your music, and that's what's important, because music is the best therapy there is, and the best solution to all the bullshit we have in the world right now. So,
hey, I'll say it how it was told to me, man. If my music can change one person's life, that's all that matters. I'm already exceeded that expectation. So now we're just enjoying the ride. So
that's all
we
you
have a
can
new
do.
song coming out soon. No release date yet, but it will be within the next month, called Make Your Own Luck. And if you would like to hear our new song, Rusted Halo, please come and see us in November with the Mice and Men. And that is the day we are going to be dropping that song.
Nice. Well, you keep fucking rocking. And thanks for giving me a war inside.
Yes, sir.
Inside this show.
You have a great day, brother. Thank you so much for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipe Man.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipe Man on W4CY Radio.